Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here today with another episode of Mushoku Tensei. So, last episode, Rudyus and company got their ass handed to them by Orsted, even though it was sad for them, and my heart reaches out to them, getting that kind of a beatdown. But still, I don't think there seems to be any permanent injuries here. They seem all fine now. Lots of excruciating pain, but as long as nothing's permanent, I will admit I was more than pleased by the display of power, not only in terms of animation, but also in what actually transpired on screen, right? So we got that to look at, and then of course one big thing that I mentioned, that I forgot to mention, I should say, the girl beside Orsted is apparently named Nanahoshi, which I made the connection to, it being Japanese, Seven Stars, the Big Dipper, etc., Polaris. But apparently, what was supposed to be more important is, the fact that it is a Japanese name, right? Whereas all the other names up to this point have been more westernized in a lot of ways. So, is there any sort of connection to Japan, to the reason that Rudyus is here in the first place? Well, don't really know, but in any case, let's get into the episode and see where exactly we're going from here. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I do think this is the penultimate episode here, so again, I was expecting Rudyus to take a look and see if he could resolve the situation regarding the location of his mom before the end of this, but nope. Before that, though. Oh. This is what he wishes for? For them all just to be there and happy in one big family. And that is, of course, a metaphor for bleeding out his fears. He's having nightmares. I actually thought he would have woken up by now. Oh. Yeah, that's a major PTSD here. Hello. I guess they already talked about what happened. Oh. Oh. Returning to home. Is that a little bit different? The Traveler's Song. Returning home. No, I don't know why. It's kind of blanking on me whether or not that was the original song title. Alright. I guess they are actually returning home at this point. Yeah. It has been so long since we've seen Sylvie. Hmm. So, Rudyard is gonna go off to do his own thing. Is he gonna say anything at the very end? He should, I feel. Maybe words aren't needed, but I guess words aren't needed at the very end. Is this like a refuge camp? Elaine! Huh. Considering it's been 2 years, though. They're certainly taking this in stride. Oh. Hmm. I guess regarding her father? Or father and grandfather. I did. Who is remaining of the Boreas family? Yeah, I feel like before all of that, dude, you guys just told her she lost her family. Dressed like this, I would guess. Maybe she wants to. Yeah. Rudyus to take her. And then, you know, fight back against that Alfonso. Fight back against that other gray rat. I thought it was something like "take me," but okay. What is with that dramatic scene here? That's how they're signifying it. I guess that's supposed to. Okay, okay. The blood. That's supposed to signify it. I don't know. I just still find it kind of. Alright. If that's the way they want to do it, that's the way it's done. I mean, I would have been fine with just the memories interspersed with, you know, like some flashes of what they are doing. Alright. Now, when is this all going to turn to? It's gone? Yeah, she's probably gonna go get herself married to that other gray rat. I feel. Alright. So who's gonna be the one to bring Rudy out of this particular funk? Sophie? I mean, considering all that's left, I would say the best guess is Sophie. Alright. Wake up and take a step. Alright. So, see you guys after this. Alright, so lots and lots of stuff happened in this episode. At least emotional stuff, I guess you could say. Although it was kind of glossed over quite quickly. I mean, literally, Eris learned in this episode that nearly her entire family is dead, and she needs to be married off to some guy that she doesn't even know for the sake of the family, and etc. etc. Right? Not exactly the most man, Eris has been through a lot through these past two episodes, right? First off, almost losing Rudyus, getting beat up herself as well. I mean, that's gotta hurt in a lot of ways. And then now, learning the news that her parents, her grandfather is dead, and she needs to be off and married into some unknown family, right? So she is just completely. Oh, and not to mention that Rudyard has went away as well. So, like, that's 5 bad things already right then and there. So, she is definitely in a lot of stress right now. The ending there, with her finally doing the deed with Rudyus, so to speak. Again, I kind of get the feeling that I mean, it is kind of a cliche thing in anime, in light novels and whatnot already, right? Of course, Mushoku Tensei is one of the OGs of light novels and whatnot, but I'm just saying, it's quite a common used thing here now, right? Because she needs, I think what they're implying here, and if I'm reading the story correctly at this point, right? It's that Eris basically knows that she has nobody else to lean on at this point within her family, and so she needs to be the one to step up and take responsibility and whatnot. And so most probably she is off to marry that other Grey Rat guy. As a way to sort of salvage whatever she can of the Boreas family. And her night of passion, if you will, with Rudyus here is kind of sort of to have like a one last reminder, if you will. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Eris is going to, instead of just quietly going there and marrying herself off, maybe she wants to duel the guy, maybe she wants to kill the guy, fight the guy, and whatnot, which is most likely also quite the suicidal deed, and so that's why she wanted to make some last memories there with Rudyus as well. That's what I'm guessing at this point here, that they are implying, and that's why Eris was so eager to do it, right then and there, even though it was originally supposed to be when Rudyus reached 15. And so, yeah, I think that's basically the general idea of the situation here, right? And I'm sure that in the next episode, Rudyus will realize that as well, or at the very least realize that he needs to go off after Eris and help her in whatever kind of mission that she has set herself on. And I'm not quite sure if he is going to come to that realization himself, or if it's going to be due to some external power here, right? The fact that they hinted that Sophie is actually alive and well does give me some few ideas as to maybe that is what is being implied here, that Rudyus will meet up with Sophie and they will catch up a little bit. Rudyus will tell her something is bothering him, and then off they go after Eris or something of that nature. Otherwise, I didn't really. I mean, it could happen, right? Or it could be a situation where Rudyus just comes to realizing himself. That scene at the very end there was just to give some hint that, yeah, Sophie is still here. We will be seeing her in the future here, right? Beyond that, obviously we also have the entire scene of Rudyard's departure here. Now, I do kind of still feel that they probably needed to have said something. I mean, at the very least, Rudyard said that they will meet again, right? I kind of feel like there should have been at least some sort of acknowledgement or confirmation back. Some from verbal confirmation. But I guess they were trying to go for a no words are necessary approach here. And so that's why they basically broke off in silence there. And I'm quite sure that we will be meeting Rudyard again in the future. With that kind of ending there, it just doesn't make any sense to not eventually still have him come back. Maybe not as a permanent, member of the party wherever they go later, but still as part of Rudius's group of friends and whatnot. I did like the entire departure scene, to be honest. The music there was utilized quite nicely, the scenery and stuff as well. It does represent a sort of milestone here, right, with Rudyus and Eris back home safely, and so Rudyard has to be on his way, and we are entering into a new chapter, I guess you say, or a new volume of the light novel or something of that sort. Definitely this entire thing up to this point, right, if we call it, you could call it an arc, I guess you could say, although it's a rather huge arc, right? The entirety of Rudius's and Eris's travels all the way from the Demon Continent here back to the main continent. So yeah, beyond that, I mean, in the next episode, I've already said, right, it's pretty much going to be a situation where Rudyus needs to comes to terms with himself and step up and do something, right, as the title episode or title preview has already implied here. I guess the only last thing to talk about is okay, well, one thing first. So during the scene where Rudyus and Eris showed up to meet Ghislaine and their butler and whatnot, I was still a little bit I'm still a little bit uncertain if that would be the kind of reunion scene that they would be going for. I mean, perhaps they are well, no. I mean, hey, come on. It's been 2 years, right? It's been 2 years, and you finally get to see Rudyus and Eris once again after so long without even knowing if they were dead or alive. I feel like some bigger celebration or some bigger emotional reaction should have been necessary here. I'm not sure whether or not they toned it down just to quickly move the story along, since we did get a lot of backstory and context in this episode in regards to Eris's family situation and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that point, but yeah, do let me know if that was basically all that happened in the light novels as well. And then finally, of course, since this is not exactly an 18 plus rated anime, they weren't going to actually be showing the scenes and whatnot. Now, I do think that Mushoku Tensei itself as a light novel is probably a bit more mature rated than, I do think that it's at, I'm not entirely sure on this, and don't quote me on this, but I do think it's supposed to be at a rating where they do describe some of the more erotic stuff that happens, if you will. But obviously, this being an anime here, they aren't really allowed to show explicitly those scenes, and so that's probably why they went for a compromise there, went with flashbacks, went with that spinning goblet, if you will, with the wine and all that, or the juice and all that. Again, I'm not quite sure if that if that visual there was entirely necessary, I would have been fine actually with just the flashback scenes and the various few scenes of Rudyus and Eris, the hand holdings, the kiss, the embrace and whatnot. I mean, I get it, right? The one of the visuals there was probably to signify making Eris a woman, right? Because using the juice slash wine to signify blood and whatnot. But still, I think it was kind of distracting and weird, all things considered. Especially since at the very beginning there, we also had this callback to the or I guess not really callback, but this sort of parallel scene where we again have this spilt wine or punch or juice whatnot that was signifying blood, but that was used in a much more negative sense, right? Maybe they were trying to have the same sort of connection, the same sort of foreboding feeling here, right? The end result is a or like some negative fear or whatnot, but honestly I don't really quite equate these two situations to each other, so that's why I'm not entirely thrilled with utilizing that visual there, since especially in the beginning they already had that visual. I guess they were trying to hint that this was kind of weird and airy and there's something bad about to happen, but even so I kind of get the feeling, I mean, it is their first time, right? You could at least have it a little bit more romantic and then drop the bad news from the next morning on, right? Yeah. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents on this. Or maybe perhaps in the light novel they made some references as to, it seems that Eris had something else on her mind while she was doing all of this, and etc., but Rudyus didn't really pay, maybe noticed it, but didn't pay it too much attention, and then the next morning came, and then realizing the situation, right? It could be something of that nature as well, but do let me know. So anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys, and we will meet in the grand finale next episode. I'll see you guys then. Until then, bye bye.